Goes down 1 versus 1. He's suddenly wounded North going forward now. That was so tantalizingly close, Alex. One more bullet would have made that a possibility, and he got the absolute most out of such a little setup there. The fact he had 1 flashbang and a 1 versus 3 gets 2 kills, his damage to the third as well. It was looking so good. Right up to that bullet when Gade finally takes him down. You can see he's disappointed in it. He knew he had the chance to win that one. But still, great opportunity now to convert this. 5 M4s again. Still no AWP. No grenades on Kiabi or Yugi. Are they going to be challenging for a quick pick here? There's the flashbang over. Suggests they will.
Early info. Knowing there's no T holding W up mid. And of course, not something Mousesports have already done. And shown they're willing to do. What an interesting start. As Carrigan tagged up by AZ. Molotov from Valda stops him from being able to escape. I think they're going to wait a little bit until the smoke is gone, Henry.
I think you might be onto something there. So, Mousesports going for that banana control. Same boost as before. Remember, it wasn't actually detected in the previous round, so giving it another go. Easy to try and bait him in. He's going to be facing off the left-hand side of New Boxes to take that aggro. Hopefully, take the initial aggression here from Mousesports. We'll see if this happens. He's waiting with the smoke in his hand, but they're going for a contact play. He might be caught out here.
Yeah, this is always interesting. Ahead of the smoke, and just as he arrives, he finds Valda. They weren't ready. The second, that's a steal.
Wow.
Catching AZ before the trade comes in. Now the site is theirs, just like that.
Yeah, like we said, it is a common pre-fire. Now it doesn't seem to be as strong a position as it once was, especially against those contact players. You're sat there waiting for utility in your hand, very vulnerable. And to be fair, they didn't really have much to work with, hoping that setup would lead them to success. But overall, it's going to be 3 players trying to survive once again on the north side. It's going to be 7-4 now, as Rops looks like he's found at least one of these. That's going to be a lovely shot towards Kiabi. Does he detect further presence?
I mean, I'll tell you now, he's definitely not expecting 3 of them.
Well then. They make their way towards the apartments here north.
So they're kind of hunting.
Yeah. Checking T spawn, Voxix there. He's got the orb, just going to be staying alive here. Even with 2 M4 saved, they're in a very similar situation here. $1,900 per player into the next round. Loss bonus just not there at all. So what do they do here? Do they take another force spike, considering they have 2 M4s? They're a little bit desperate for round 2 on their CT side. I would say a tactical timeout is almost certain here.
Get Mither on the mic.
Yeah.
Let's see that again. So this is
dancing
death.
around
And that's the other side of the coin. Me and Henry have talked about this a couple of times, especially on Inferno, that players have gotten so good at finding the gaps in teams' Molotovs. If there's 2 on Banana, perhaps even one of their own, you'll be able to find them that perfect sweet spot where you can catch an opponent off guard by standing, quote-unquote, in the flames. Carrigan, unfortunately, put a toe too far. And AZ's damage was enough to convert on Valda's flame.
Yeah, it's a rough one for Carrigan. You can see himself inside his own head there a little bit. It's 1-10 right now, but it's T side of Inferno. They're 7-4 up. He's the in-game leader. As far as he's concerned, everything's going okay.
7 rounds on the T side Inferno.
Yeah. North,
looking like 8.
Yeah, well, North are not going to force by here, so yeah, I think you might be right. And they're going to have to take this one on the chin and see whether Yugi and Gade can find any sort of opening. They've got a diffuse kit and utility for Gade, just in case they do find an opening here at all. It's going to be a smoke down towards the bottom of B, and Gade will be there with the rifle. Backed up from AZ. He's got the flashback. They might try and flash Gade over in a second if they feel like Crush J's got towards the top once again.
Always interested to see what players choose to do with the T-side AWP.
Wow, 3 of them now towards Arch.
Just holding the crossfires. It's always such a tough one to break through. Utility usually used, and a smoke now pluming towards that triple stack. Speculative bullets from Frozen and Woxic. Oh, that could molly Valda straight out of position just as the smoke fades. I think he's got just enough time to Scarpa. They'll have heard the sound cue. Carrigan was right there. Oh dear, gets a lot of information. Nice work from AZ there with a sidearm. I don't think that weapon's retrievable. They're going to have a go.
They can focus towards the quad side now. He spotted 3 players towards Arch, and he's just like, go plan towards A. Shouldn't be a problem. They'll save our guns. That's the correct call from North here. They've done what they can with this round, taking the AK, 2 M4s. The next one's about as good as it's going to get. Kiabi will still fight for another rifle, considering he just has that USP, but his chances are very limited.
No bomb plant either. Note that from Mousesports. They wanted that info. They catch Kirby as Woxic on his adventures, and nice work. Sidearm versus sidearm. P250. A little too strong. Catches the head of Kirby.
No bomb planted yet.
Yeah, look at this restraint. They want to clear everything.
That's Very well played, to be honest, and making sure that everything was clear. And they're going to keep everyone alive, as North will be nothing to do with this round whatsoever. They've got the AK-47, that's something. But ultimately, just going to be saving here. So Mousesports, another nice methodical approach. Is Carrigan throwing himself in first. He gets towards Arch, detector stack, gives a nice quick call as to what they should do next, and there's no problem after that. They have expended all their utility, but against the pistols, from what we've seen, especially this major alone, against Deagle's PT-50s, 5.7s especially, you might as well use all your grenades and treat every round like a gun round.
Yeah, and I'm glad we were watching Carrigan that round, because it is a good example of why he is leading in deaths quite considerably. He's died 11 times.
Yeah.
Think about the amount of information he's conveyed with that one-for-one trade. Very interesting.
Well, there we have it. Another gun round available here, but still, I do not think Yugi can get the AWP. It would have to be dropped by AZ at this point, and he'll sacrifice all of his utility if he wants to do it. Looks like they'll be happy with the 5 rifle setup here. Round 13, North need more than 4 on their CT side. Ideally, 6 or 7, but that seems like a bit of a reach right now. Mousesports, nothing too complicated or flashy, just a great team approach. Nice trading, good fragging potential. Voxix having a fantastic performance here. Round 13, and CTs with 4 players towards A, just AZ towards B. He'll be dropping the majority of his utility now just to show presence and hopefully deny any sort of faster approach here from Mousesports.
Their ability to change up the pace, such a big factor in successful T sides, and this one much slower from Mouse. They know this is going to be North's best shot, best buy in a while. Now the Danes have stacked towards the A site. They've got plenty of utility still in the arsenal, in the armory. That's a good reason why we're seeing such a passive start. Oof, damage, good damage done. Frozen's trying to win this exchange though. Kierby eventually does go down, a war of attrition towards Quad, and now the trades come out. Valda swinging. Wants to try and avenge his fallen Orba, but be able to do so. Mouse back away once again.
What a battle this is towards middle. There were 4 CTs here at the start. Chris J making his way towards the B side will take AZ, and that's a completely open other half of the map now. Gate has got his work cut out from him. He needs a couple of kills. They're all around him right now. He's got the potential to find a few, but Mousesports shuts it down. Once again, just being patient. Not overcommitting, working together. 3 survive once again, and it's 9-4. North were even expecting that. They are ready. 2 players towards Quad, 2 at the Arch, and still it's Mousesports to come out on top. Chris J helps himself towards the B side, finds a completely open area after taking down AZ, and you can see Rops is doing a fantastic job with that Krieg. It's a big round for them to pick up, and another tactical timeout with looks of things for North here. Nothing going in their favor. They actually had a pretty decent start. Remember, they won the pistol with that aggressive push. We thought that was going to be it, but overall, they started looking pretty decent. Went 3-3, but ever since these gun rounds really have got rocking and rolling, it's been 6-1 as Mousesports go for a 9-4 lead here. Money is okay on the North side, but it's going to be more of the same SMGs and rifles. I would say Yugi needs that AWP now. He's going to be down to the SMG again. It's been a really rough game for the money. Yeah, and a rough game for North in general. Just take a look at the fact that that's their 3rd timeout. That's their 3rd timeout. Coming into the T side, no less. That's a good point, because you're a lot more tactical, reliant on coordination and ideas and counter-stratting your opponents. If you have no pauses for that second half, could be an issue. Need to hold on to that one now. One of the many resources involved in competitive Counter-Strike, those timeouts. 3 out of 4 burned in 14 rounds of play. Excuse me, 13. This is the 14th. Let's see how this one shapes up. So a more standard setup here from North. Back to 2 players towards B. That's going to be Valda and AZ, of course. They've got all the utility they need and the rifles towards B. But a very standard setup. 1 spawn, 1 towards Coffins. Trying to hold Mousesports at bay, but they've already broken through here. Ooh, they're well ahead of that smoke, and they start to back away. The flash is so good from Mousesports. It enables them to just walk in. Damn, what do you even do now? So they're already full access. The smokes are still there. The walls are up. And they keep presenting this contact play. There's no telegraphed action, but the grenades, that's much better from
Wow.
North. They've done so much damage there. This could be actually working out. Yeah, I think they've got it. They've denied the plant, not quite, but still a 5 versus 3.
This utility usage from North is fantastic. Mouse, they're being suffocated. Chris J, he's desperately trying to gas Ferrer, and he does relieve some
no
pressure.
way.
3 from Chris, he's on for the ace. It would have to be. He doesn't have the health for that fight. And it will be the 5th for North, courtesy of a fantastic use of their nades on the way in.
Yeah, how good was that?
Oh my, I mean, that felt mirage-y.
Yeah,
This is Inferno.
it did. That was really cool from North. You can see they're dangerous on this map. They just need the resources available to them. They've recovered the AWP. They're going into round number 15 now. If they can get 9-6, win the pistol in the second half, they're right back into this one. But I would say they definitely need this round. Let's see what they can do with it. It's going to be full buy on either side at this point. An exciting first half. You can see not much separating them when they're both equal match in terms of the setup. And Chris J, I thought that was going to be another magical moment of his.
He's
Not
having
quite.
plenty, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, Yugi has the orb for the final round of this first half. AK as well for Valda. In their confidence now, pushing down towards the T-steps, but they have been spotted. Do they continue with this push? It looks like Kiabi isn't wasting any time at all. He will be dropped though, however. Chris J will find him from the T-steps. Another little gambit they had towards the middle will have to be silenced at this stage and fall back to a more defensive setup. Crossfires on either bomb site.
That must be so frustrating for Kirby. He's so close to converting that frag on Woxic. He could see the barrel. He's practically shooting his fingernails off, but he couldn't convert. No smoke on steps. The trade comes in from Mouse. And I say trade, Woxic didn't. Fall himself in, count on his teammates for that.
He is. They're happy just to walk in. They know they have next towards B, but AZ hitting shots now. He's going to need a second, though. Trying to deny that. Trying to buy time, but unfortunately, Rops will take. Here, they were so good at the retake before, but I see now if there's anything to be said with the right now.
Yeah, they don't have that dream set. This is going to have to be bullets, and Amesa wins the 5 versus 1. He's still in, ready and willing to take that fight. Drops towards Emo, feeling quite the contra. Closing on to Val there, and that's the 10th. Double digits.
Yeah, what a great game. Excellent for them. Nothing too comping play.
Why are you crying?
No one wants to play anymore. Play a game with me, would you? On the count of 3. 1.
It, capítulo 2, solo en cines.
North versus Mano and a 10-5 lead going into the defense for the European or the international roster. The Danes so far have used 3 of their 4 timeouts. It was a tough one.
Yeah, and understand place. Their money was never really stabilized down to 1 versus 1s. They had a couple of success, but they're going to need the pistol here on the T side. PG50 for Valda. They've got 2 smoke with his P2000. You can hear what that means to him. Oh my god.
Open Mike Knight and just play that.
Pretty disgusting. I'm not
That's
gonna lie to you.
ridiculous. 1 bullet fired, walking to advance on towards the A site. It is North, all of their Yugi as well before he's silence of Gade. The numbers do favour Matt on the side. Kirby tucked in on Pit. They could profit, not if Chris reacts like that though. It's down and it seems that precision is on.
I love that.
Woo! I'm getting fun.
That was a crazy shot here. So Vegas come on, bullet fired. Sticks the landing on that one. It's really feeling down tournament so far. He's had technical issues, loud and proud as we get into round 17 here. We are going to see what can be done. The bomb was out here. AZ will be left at Deagle. Not weapons.
Right.
Gade and Valda will have smokes, Molotovs, flashbangs. That first pick, and he's already spotted the AK. You don't want to fire a shot from the AK unless you're like, oh, Mousesports can reposition, so the rifles are out.
That cost Frozen so little. Quick glimpse, lock it out, start using their utility ball. That's actually the second to after that one fades, and with still 70 seconds on, keep North at bay. Oh. We're getting.
Yeah, it's just enough, isn't it?
It's just enough. I mean, yeah, it's a tough balance.
Well, if this round doesn't work out for them, they're in a lot of trouble. But there it is, back and forth. We go each other, but still a 2 versus 2. Gade down in from the B bomb side, of course, with a bomb planted. Gade isolated on the side here with just.
Okay, so Woxic going to be the scout. 16th info on where they are at the moment. Graveyard him in. First. Clear. Now looking to work in the hands of Woxic. He's low and he's the last man standing. Needed that. Just releasing on them. And they'll find themselves.
There it is, the much